Okay, we are live. We are live. And life is good in the midst of everything that we're facing. So, California, as you guys probably know, we're in another lockdown and talking to so many friends today. But, we're going to make the best of challenging times. So, I think we're going to have a lot of people on tonight. And then we're also going to boost this just because I'm excited about the conversation. Part of what I want to talk about is us getting ready for this coming year, which, wow, can you imagine? It's coming up like super, super soon. And so we're going to talk about getting ready for the new year and finishing up this year strong. And I'm going to have Joseph Mendoza. He's going to join me right now and we're both going to dialogue a little bit. But, in the midst of everything that we've gone through this year, I have talked to a lot of people the last few days, and believe it or not, they actually have had some beautiful moments in the midst of difficult times. And I think that that is definitely possible that we can have beautiful moments in the midst of difficult times. And a lot of it is your point of view and how you look at life. Hi, Kayla Craft. I think that, there's a scripture in the Bible and it says there's a time and a season for everything. There's a time to be silent and a time to speak. And the word silent is an interesting word. The word silent actually means that there's a time in your life that your life goes to a whisper. And so what I like to say, the time of silence when your life is at a whisper, it's like your life is at a hush. And in that silent time of life, there are so many things that we can learn. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we could learn in the midst of a pandemic, what we can learn in the midst of a shutdown, and how we can grow stronger in the midst of so many things that are going on. Okay. So in the scripture, somebody was asking me, what is that scripture again? That is actually in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes. Okay. So it's Ecclesiastes, and the whole thing is there's a time to be silent and a time to speak. So silent means a hush or a whisper. And it comes from an old message that I used to speak called sometimes you got to go left before you get right. How you doing, Joseph?
I'm great. And yourself?
Doing good. We were talking about, in the midst of difficult times, that scripture in the Bible that says there's a time to be silent and a time to speak. And that people that I've been dialoguing with the last few days, I've been saying that in the midst of everything we're facing, the pandemic, friends of ours that have got COVID, even people that
Mm-hmm.
have passed, that in our silent season, there are lessons to be learned even in the silent season. Okay.
Okay.
And sometimes life takes you into the silent season. But what I say is that you could turn it into what I call a library of learning and a sanctuary of getting deeper with God. And so one of the lessons that I've learned from the pandemic and quarantine and everything that we've had to go through is part of my library is I've learned to slow down to the speed of life even more. Because I was
That's
pretty
good.
good at it. But I've really learned to be in the moment even more, fully present, fully feeling, and fully alive. So that's a little bit of my library. Then my sanctuary, I feel like I'm closer to God than I was even in my 20s. Because a lot of my life is constantly giving out and giving out. But I feel like during this time, I needed God's strength for myself. And I love this scripture in Isaiah where it says, they that wait upon the Lord, they shall renew their strength.
Mm.
And they shall run and not grow weary, and they shall walk and not faint or not give up. So the waiting on the Lord part has been very, very important. What changes have you seen in your life during this having to go left before we get right when you think of library and sanctuary?
I'll say two words: present, and I think you said that word already, present. And the second word, Tim, is intentional. A lot of the things I'm doing now have purpose and intent behind it. You can look at it from a husband standpoint, from a father standpoint, from a coworker standpoint. Been very present and very intentional with the things that I am doing. So thanks to COVID, those two things have really helped me become a better person in all areas of my life, Tim. And I'm excited just to be on with you tonight here for tonight's live.
Yeah, we're obviously not saying that we thank God for difficult times, because
No.
these are difficult times. I have not hugged my mother since March.
Wow.
I see my mother, and I get to talk to my mother, but now we're back to me being outside and her being inside and us dialoguing. And so that's, those things are difficult, but
Absolutely.
we can learn from the difficult seasons. In fact, some of the people that do the greatest things, they learned in the difficult seasons how to get stronger, right? So tell me how you see that in people's lives, about even in the midst of difficulty, they can learn how to get stronger.
Well, I just want to say something. You were talking about grandma, and yesterday was my mom's 65th birthday, and we didn't get to see her other than a drive-by. And we seized the opportunity, though, Tim, to still surprise her. We were intentional. And by saying intentional, what we did is we made her favorite cake. And although we knew we couldn't celebrate with her the way we would have liked to, we ended up driving by my parents' house, and we literally just handed her cake, and she, broke out into tears. But once again, that's just being present, being intentional, that we have to be creative in the midst of this pandemic right now, that there are still ways that we can make an impact in people's lives. And yesterday we had that opportunity to do that with my mom's birthday. So when you said that about grandma, it kind of just struck a chord with me, because we literally went through that yesterday.
Yeah. Martika, our good friend from Canada, just called you a legend.
I just saw that right now. Thank you, Martika.
She said, you're a legend and I'm a legend in the making.
No, you're the legend. Let's not get that twisted here on this Monday night.
So one of the things that we've been doing as a team of, kind of coming from like the Tim Storey brand, is that we've been getting creative. Like we did a creative birthday party for me, because you guys have always been nice to me on my birthday, and we've had some really great birthday parties. I mean, like phenomenal, in great houses, and just a lot of great things that have happened, and great people. And so a lot of people were saying they wanted to do something for me, and so we decided to have a virtual party, right?
We did.
And Joseph, tell them how you came up with that idea and what you decided to do about it, because that's like, in the midst of the left, we did something kind of right and still blessed a lot of people.
Well, I figured since the previous year we celebrated in Beverly Hills, what a better way to do it than virtual, right? Beverly Hills virtual, kind of close, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So
yeah.
we did celebrate the year before in Beverly Hills at the study. We had a gigantic party. I mean, Tim, we had a disco ball, birthday cake. We had a special event, special guests, musical performances, and then to go virtual, was obviously something that we really had no choice but to do. But the creativity part about it, it helps, Tim, when you are as connected as you are, to get a lot of special people to rally behind and really honor someone who is a legend in yourself, Tim. So for me, it was easy. I just had to reach out and make the phone calls and the connections. Everybody else just said yes. But did you see the numbers on that though, Tim?
Okay, just for fun, let them know, because here's the funny thing about what we do. We're very, very, let's say, we're very intentional, right? But we also have fun with what we do. And I think a lot of people that are influencers, they take things way too serious. So, we got a lot of our friends, Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, a lot of stars, movie stars and different things, right? Doing things. And we just kind of targeted them in some of our promotions on our Facebook Live, Tim Storey Birthday Party, and my book launch, right? The book launch, Miracle Mentality, that's coming out when?
It's coming out end of February, 2021.
Yeah. And so tell them the numbers we had on Facebook Live.
We had just over 500,000 people tune in and watch the special birthday bash celebration, Tim. So
That's
by
over
far,
500,000.
some of our biggest numbers.
That's filling in the Rose Bowl 100 times. And
Wow.
so, and the thing that was wild about that is that how many people were on at one time. Like, you know, a lot of people on at one time. Then we kept it on over the week, and then people kept rewatching. I have some friends that said they watched it 2 or 3 times just because of the inspirational side of it. But to me, again, that's making the most of a very difficult situation, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so for all of you guys that are watching, which are, you know, our friends, is that no matter what you're facing, there's a solution for what you're going through. So let me give you a couple ideas. So number one, Joseph, in life, you always have a promise. You have a promise of something that is supposed to come. So the Bible says, for God knows the end from the beginning, and he knows what is yet to come, or yet to unfold is another way of saying it. So I always say this, you know, don't fold while you are unfolding, because God has put promises in your corazon, in your heart. You know, I'm part Spanish. God put promises in your heart, and don't fold while you're still unfolding. Okay.
Mhm.
So tell them about the poker term fold, to fold.
Well, you know, to fold is to basically lay down your cards, and you're basically telling your opponents that you don't have a good hand. That is what you're essentially saying. And what Tim is saying is don't fold your cards, or don't fold where you are unfolding. Sometimes, here's what I'll say, as someone who knows how to play poker, and Tim knows this,
Yes.
it pays to stay around. So what does that mean? You got to see more cards, right? So in the Texas Hold'em world, sometimes it comes on that last card comes, the first two cards you might have got, you might have been like, man, I should fold. But by the time, the river card hits, you may have a royal flush or a flush, and you now just won tons of money. So it pays to stay in sometimes.
Yeah, it pays to stay in, no doubt about it. Because while you're unfolding, so you have the promise of something, because God says he has a plan for you, but then you have to have the right principles. And the principles are very, very important. A lot of you guys, many times, are just trying to go off enthusiasm or motivation, but I go off principles, and principles help me. And so I've been very influenced by John Wooden, who is a coach of the UCLA Bruins, predominantly like in the 60s, but
Mm-hmm.
he won, over 10 championships with, Lou Alcindor, who later became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and many other great players. But the thing about John Wooden, he had a lot of discipline in his principles on how they played basketball. And so his teams were known as being very, very, very structured with principles. And
Mm-hmm.
no wonder he won over 10 championships and just back to back to back to back, because he did the principles. And Joseph, because you see this by watching me,
Yep.
talk to them about the principles of how I'm not up and down. I'm doing things based on principles.
Absolutely, 100%. And you are like a John Wooden in your respective field, and that's what has make you, in my opinion, the best at what it is that you do. You're known as the comeback coach, but to me, you're known as more than just a comeback coach. And all the things you do are based off of principles, and that's one of the things we're really going to talk about primarily tonight. Another project of yours that is based off 35 years of
Yes.
principles and learning experiences.
Okay, so let's go there, and then we'll talk about this little project we're doing. We have the promise, we have the principles, then you have the problems. So the problems are like the defense that jumps up. So let's take it to basketball again as
Mm-hmm.
an illustration and metaphor. Even LeBron James is going to get double teamed,
Yep.
and sometimes triple teamed. That means
Mm-hmm.
three players on one guy. And that's
Yep.
what this year feels like. It feels like sometimes you got double teamed, and then sometimes you got triple teamed.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you feel like you got teamed up on at least once this year? Give me some emojis.
Give us the raise hand emoji.
Raise hand emoji if you feel like there's been a lot of defense against you, trying to block you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're in the restaurant business, whether you have your own business, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in mental health, whether it's in just mindset. Look at all these emojis going up. All of us that are alive have been
Mm-hmm.
feeling like there's times that we are being defended by 2 or 3 players. So in life, you have the promise, then you have the principles, but then you have the problems. And this is where most people fail, Joseph. They do not know how to get through the problems. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, I was thinking, some of us, Tim, some people right now feel like we're back in March, right? We kind of went back a few steps, especially if
Yeah.
you live in California or some states where you're, back on lockdown or a stay-at-home order, and it feels more like a full court press when I was thinking of basketball terms, right? Feel like you can't even advance the ball to half court because that's how swarmed or overwhelmed you feel right now. And the good thing is, Tim, is that's why you have a team, right? And that's
Yes.
why there's 4 other players. And that's why you have a 6-man that comes off the bench, right? Because when you are not able, there is somebody who is able, and that person, is God. And that's who you and I look to when we feel at times that we are not able, or when we're being pressed pretty hard and feel like there's no way out.
Whoa, that was super good. And I like what you said. We got other players.
Other
And then
players.
people, a lot of times they say, like, how do you stay so poised? How do you seem like you like so like flowing? And as you know, we have like what, probably 9 big projects going on right now
Mm-hmm.
that we won't go into all of them. So, but in the midst of that, we stay poised because we're team players. We work with a lot of guys.
Yep.
And, a lot of times you see me and Joseph, there's a lot of other people that are
Mm-hmm.
making this happen. Trust me. It's not
Absolutely.
just us two. So you got the promise, you got the principles, you have the problems. And it's very important to note that when you have a mountain in front of you, so you may be facing a mountain of financial problems, a mountain of loneliness, a mountain of you're going through a divorce, a mountain of illness. Not COVID. It could be like something else, arthritis or lupus or facing something. But when you have a mountain, Joseph, there's different ways to go through the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Most people want to just plow through it. Like, this is the way I am. I'm a Scorpio. And they're just going to plow right through it. I don't know anything about signs, but I hear stuff like this. Or some people, they want to plow through the mountain. The other way is they want to climb the mountain. And the other way is they go around the mountain. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to figure out, what mountains do I plow through? What mountains do I go around? And what mountains do I go over? I believe that COVID-19 is a mountain that we have to slowly,
Yep.
diligently, and deliberately go through. Look at that. That was powerful, right?
Powerful. When you said that, Tim, I thought, you know what COVID has reminded me of? It's reminded me taking the scenic route to get somewhere.
Yes.
On the
Yes.
scenic route, there's so many blessings along the way, but you just got to be open, right? You got to be fully present, fully feeling,
You
fully
gotta you
alive, and
gotta
you'll
be
see those
very,
blessings.
very, you gotta be very open and open to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we planned a full schedule for my book tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we speak at big places. So we're talking 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people. And I'm talking overseas too, right?
Yep.
So now the books come out in February. We don't even know how quarantine will be in February. So we've had to become very, very creative on how we're releasing this book. And guess what? We've become pretty creative.
Super creative.
Like crazy creative that we won't even talk about. Like, all the doors opened. We'll talk about some, like when you go to the airport, you're going to see me in all the airport bookstores. Or when you go to the airport, I'll be in 90 airports of the world. That's being creative, don't you think?
That's God's favor, but that's super creative. Not many people can say that, Tim.
Or when
And
you
Bill.
fly, I'm now writing for United Airlines as well every month. And they're
Mm-hmm.
doing something to get my book in United Airlines in the
Yep.
magazine and on their website.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also writing for American Airlines every month. And
Yep.
I saw the new one, the new article. It says about how to get the new book, Miracle Mentality.
Wow.
That's being creative in the midst of the challenges.
Yep.
All right, you guys
Absolutely.
share because you care. Let people know that we are talking about getting ready for a really strong year. Joseph, is it possible to have a
100,
good year?
100% it's possible to have a good year.
Tell me why. I
Absolutely.
want to know.
First of all, we should have learned a lot of lessons by now, Tim, in 2020 that have prepared us for 2021. A lot of opportunities that have arose this year to be better in many areas of our lives, Tim. And right now, we're riding momentum into 2021 strong. And I can tell you right now, the time is now. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for December 31st, 2020 to say I'm going to start on January 1st, 2021? Start now. Start today. That's what I would say,
Hey,
is start now.
JJ Hara is on. Why don't you thank him for your present you got?
Oh man, JJ, look at that. I just busted it out of my pocket. Tim must have read my mind, but JJ, huge shout out. Huge shout out.
So JJ's like family, and JJ's out of this world, and he's doing life coaching now. So JJ Hara, he's right there. He's a very good life coach. He's doing one-on-one coaching. I think he only has 3 spots available. He's very good in the area of finances, real estate. Follow JJ. He's right there. You see that information? JJ, put your information up. You only got 3 spots available for life coaching. And he's helping people in the area of finances and goal setting. Excellent in that area, but also in the area of real estate. He's really doing great. And he got me some really nice sunglasses. That was nice of him too.
I was just about to say, and he's excellent in picking sunglasses out before you said that.
And then he even bought my mother a present.
Oh man. JJ, we appreciate you.
All right, let's have some fun. You have some questions for me tonight.
Absolutely. We have some popular questions, Tim. We polled everybody, and we're going to talk about your new coaching program tonight that launched on December 1st, and it's going strong right now. And the feedback has been amazing, to say the least, the feedback that we've got. But got a couple questions I want to throw at you tonight. We're going to start with this one. When did you actually start coaching people? How many years ago was it when you actually started coaching people?
Okay, so this is important to all of us. It's like a life coaching session you're going to have tonight, and we're going to take our time. So get some hot tea and just relax, because this is going to be awesome tonight. I'm not even joking. So Joseph, as you know, I went to seminary, and then I later went on and I have a doctorate in world religion. So when I was in seminary, which is it was like a Christian university seminary. When I was there, Joseph, I knew that I was supposed to help people, but I did not know that I was going to help a lot of people. I just knew I wanted to help somebody.
Yeah.
That's what I was going after, okay? Helping somebody. And so I started teaching where the university was that I was going to. There were some areas you had to go a while away, about an hour away, to find these inner city areas. So I created an inner city program for kids, and I would go motivate these kids on the weekends. I created it. And then I got into the schools. Doesn't that sound like me?
It does.
I was getting into the elementary schools and the junior high. I didn't even try the high school yet because I don't want to be booed by these kids. I was too young. And so when I'd be done, it was the teachers that were coming up, and they couldn't believe how old I was. I was super young. And they were saying oh my gosh, how do I get in touch with you? So it was the teachers, Joseph, at the schools that were saying, do you have a phone number? Can I reach out to you? But Joseph, this was before cell phones. Can you imagine this?
Wow. Were they saying page me on your pager?
Exactly. So it started with the teachers from the schools, and I connected with a couple teachers, and I would talk to these teachers, 2 guys, and then the big break happened just a few years later, and that is I have a friend who's in heaven by the name of Reggie White. And Reggie White was one of the greatest football players of all time. He played defense. Is that true about Reggie White?
100% true. Green Bay Packers, right?
Hmm. He played for the Eagles first, and then he went to the Green Bay Packers,
Yep.
and they won the Super Bowl. And so what happened with Reggie White, he came to see me speak somewhere, and he said, "Hey, I'd like you to start speaking in some chapels." He said, "And I want to support you." So Reggie White started supporting me to go into all these
Mm,
chapels, to go to the Miami Dolphins, Minnesota Vikings, Oakland Raiders, because he had a lot of different friends all over the place. So that's when my life coaching just exploded in
mhm.
my early 20s. Now, is this mind boggling?
Wow.
So
Absolutely.
I'm just minding my own business, and I created my own curriculum on my own.
Hmm.
And this is before what was a life coach? They weren't talking about life coach.
No.
I didn't know of this guy, Tony Robbins, who's a few years older than me. I didn't know of him. I didn't know of John Maxwell. He had not taken off yet. Um, there were things like Think and Grow Rich. There was Robert Schuller, but I didn't know about a life coach thing. So when I would speak at a chapel, okay, when I'd speak at a chapel, uh, all of a sudden something would happen. There would be this huge line of star athletes, like guys we look up to.
Hmm.
And I'd be just standing there, and this huge line would be there. Like, I'm not kidding, like 11 people deep. And it was like one star after another, and they'd be like, "Hey, man, can I get your number?" Okay. And so, could you imagine this? I looked up to these guys,
Right.
and they were looking up to me, and they were saying, "I need to talk." So, Joseph, I started life coaching some of the greatest players in the NFL without even trying to become a life coach. So what's
Wow.
going through your mind as I say this?
Well, first of all, it's powerful. Second of all, sports, me, you, I mean, that all resonates. And these people that you're probably coaching or life coaching are guys that we look up to or see on the field week in
We're
and
talking
week
about the
out.
biggest. We're talking about the
Exactly.
biggest in the NFL.
And I hope people heard what you said because you answered my second question, and that was what program or curriculum did you use? You didn't have a program, you used your own curriculum.
Yeah, I use my own curriculum because you got to start. You got to start with
Right.
what you got, right?
So you used your own curriculum,
So I
and
use my
so
own
that,
curriculum, but you got to understand if you're going to fast forward, you're going to fast forward to Tim Storey's going to end up in 75 countries.
wow.
He's going to be currently life coaching over 300 entertainers, is what I do right now. And all these athletes that we do the biggest athletes in the world now.
Hmm.
And all these business people that we work with, and rehab centers, what we do with the rehab centers, right?
Hmm.
What we do in prison reform, what we do with the elderly, what we do with the homeless. This is
Yep.
kind of crazy, right?
Crazy.
Okay, so it started off with this little break,
Hmm.
but this is what I'm trying to help you guys with today. Is that in the midst of your own private pain, in the midst of what you are going through, God will always deliver his deliverers.
Mm.
See, I was called to be a deliverer of people. And Leah, good to see you. I was called to be a deliverer of people,
Hmm.
and I would someday be able to speak to millions and millions of people face to face. We're
Hmm.
not just talking about the TV stuff. Millions and millions of people face to face. But it all started with a very small break.
Wow.
Poquito,
Yep.
very small. Okay, listen, very small break. See, some of you are looking for this big break. Oh my
I
God, I
agree.
need a big break. I took that little break of 11 football players waiting for me. Can I have your number? And
Hmm.
I would say out of the 11, probably about five of them started calling me.
Wow.
And four of them were gigantic stars. And they're asking me, "Oh man, I got this problem. Everyone's trying to borrow money from me. Man, I got this problem with the coach. Man, I'm thinking about telling them where to go. Oh, I got a problem with my wife." Okay, I'm like super young. I'm not even gonna tell the age. Okay, I was in seminary. I was super young. I was in over my head. So Joseph, I started reading all these psychology books, started doing all this research. So tell me what this story's doing to you so far as I talk.
Well, you nailed it on the head, Tim. I think a lot of times people are looking for that big, gigantic break, and it's in that little break, you know, that little sliver break right there where the biggest blessing can happen or come. And your story right now, literally, you know, just is reminding us that it's not. Everyone's looking for the big, you know, snap our fingers, click our heels, and we're going to end up back in Kansas like Dorothy did in The Wizard of Oz. And you know, that's not the way the package comes sometimes in that blue Tiffany bow that you talk about. So
Yes.
look for the little,
All right. So
break.
I was in over my head, and I'm going to just finish this up because you have other questions. And what
Yep.
happened is that I later found out about a teacher at USC
Hmm.
who was a famous psychology teacher, African American, based out of downtown LA.
Hmm.
And I got a meeting with her, Joseph, and we began to dialogue. And she fell in love with little Timmy Storey, and she's now passed on. She passed on in her 80s, but
Hmm.
very famous lady. I won't say her name. And she fell in love with little Timmy Storey. She says, "I loved you the minute you came in my office." She goes, "You just had something about you." And she said to me, "Tim, you're in over your head, and I'm going to help you." And she helped create my first life coaching curriculum.
Wow.
She took what she had, all these probably 400 pages, handed it to me, said, "Study this and make it your own, and we'll go back and forth." And she literally trained me for 5 years,
Mm.
as she taught at USC, to be Tim Storey.
Wow. Well, here's what I'll say. Uh, I think a lot of us like little Timmy Story and love little Timmy Story. So she was definitely spot on with that one right there. So next question though, Tim. So as this, you get this break, you know, you're working with Reggie White, you're working with people in the NFL. As you're now coaching people,
Yeah.
what was your goal back then? What was your goal when saying, okay, I'm going to take these 11 phone numbers. They're going to reach out to me. They're going to call me with different issues. What was your goal at that present time to accomplish with these people you were coaching?
Okay, so here's where I think that I'm hard to beat, or maybe even can't be beat. Again, a lot of people, like, again, let's go back to a basketball metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
They look at how great Michael Jordan is as a basketball player, or
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird, because these guys can still ball. They
Yeah.
don't play in the NBA, but they can play. Magic can still play. But as you know, because you're a basketball player, is that it's small little things that make your game different.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I think what a lot of people think is in coaching is that I'm trying to take them from A to Z. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help people get better.
Wow.
Just get better. So if that guy was fighting with his wife 5 days a week, I'm going to try to bring it down to 2 days a week. And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to try to bring it down to 1 day a week. And then I'm going to try to bring it down to 1 day a month. And then I'm going to try to bring it down to nothing. Is that so powerful?
Powerful. Too many people looking for the grand slam when sometimes you just need a bunt single, right, Tim?
I'm the best at making you better. I'm never looking A to Z. Like, oh my God, Tim Storey. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Joseph, do not give the number, but just for fun, tell them it's a lot of people that DM us.
Oh, it's the numbers are staggering. The direct messages that come in,
It's crazy.
it's yeah,
Okay.
it's crazy.
And they're all like, call me now.
Yeah.
Can you introduce me to so-and-so? Okay. Like I'm sitting there like a genie. But everybody wants to go from A to Z. And that's not how I'm going to coach you.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go from A to B, B to C, C to D, right? Boom, 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 boom. And I am a step-by-step coach. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm the best at this. I help people go step by step. And the next thing they know, there's so many steps ahead, and they stop and they look back and they go, whoa, what just happened in my life? This is all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go with me, and sometimes they're frustrated with me. They're like, I mean, how did, and they'll name a star that I helped. Well, how did you do it to him? Do that to me. Then I understand that what I helped that guy with took a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a step-by-step approach. Okay, next question.
Man,
Let's
I
go
love
fast.
that. So, did you ever think in your wildest dreams, fast forward today, did you think that you would ever coach as many people as you coach today? Because the numbers are staggering over the past 30 years,
Never,
Tim.
ever, never, ever, never, ever, 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 never.
That sounds like a song.
Oh man, come on. I mean, I got that little spot that I go to where they make me food in the morning.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah,
It's like a beat up spot, right?
it is, but it's good.
So all of them are followers of mine, and most of them are Latin,
Hmm.
and because I like huevos con chorizo and stuff like that sometimes too. But they usually make me like a vegetable omelet or whatever. But so they're all fans. So now I can't go there being normal. Like today, yesterday, two of them came out of the car just to go, oh my God, let me see your face up close. We can't believe like how you're changing us. And you know this because you're with me, but I'll be going down the freeway and people scream at me out of their
Yep.
windows. So it is a wild thing. I never saw any of this happening. Never, ever,
Wow.
ever. I did see me helping people. I did not see all this happening.
Wow. So this next question's one of my favorite, and I think a lot of people are going to learn right here. Some really good nuggets that you're going to teach them and show them is what's missing in coaching today.
Man,
What
listen,
is
listen.
missing in coaching today?
Okay, so we got a big challenge here in this area of coaching because we have novices trying to get God's creation to go to the next
Mm,
place.
wow.
So that's like you get a dad who watches basketball on TV every once in a while,
Hmm.
trying to coach your son who has potential to go to the NBA. Tell him what a good illustration that is.
Oh man, that's a great illustration. Uh, Tim, you couldn't have said it any better, to be honest.
Okay, so this idea of coaching somebody, you got to understand, you're talking about God's creation, fearfully and wonderfully made.
Hmm.
That when you coach them, let's say if you're coaching them for an hour, you are talking to God's daughter, God's son, helping them with their life. No wonder I work so hard to talk to God's creation. Let me just have some fun. When I first started talking to, let's take Jessica Simpson.
Okay.
I mean, when her and her father would come, and the mother and the little daughter, Ashley, who became big too, I didn't know they're going to be like super rich kids.
Mm.
I knew that they had potential. When I was talking to Jessica Simpson, I knew she had potential when they would come to the Tim Storey Beverly Hills meeting. When she was a teenager, she was
Hmm.
16 years of age when she first started coming, 16 or 17. I saw potential. I didn't see that someday she would have $1 billion business. She was
Wow.
just on a talk show the other day. Her business is now $1 billion business. I did not see billion in her, but I
Hmm.
did see this girl's got it. Okay. So what I believe is missing in coaching today, number one is training. That the coaches are not properly trained. Okay. I trained for 5 years with an instructor who taught at USC
Mm.
to create a curriculum to become a better coach. What does that say to you?
Oh, I mean, Tim, I mean, to have someone teach and train with someone like that, you've put in the work. You've done what it takes to be where you're at today, Tim. So I agree with you that the training
Okay.
is definitely missing.
And let me tell you another thing. I paid her more than her hourly fee.
Mm.
And she used to say to me, "You little rascal, where are you getting all this money?" I said, "I'm a hard worker."
Man,
Because she said, "I'm going to let you pay me." She goes, "Because I'm worth it."
wow.
She says, "I so value my time, I'm going to let you pay me."
Wow.
See, a lot of people, everybody wants something for free.
Yep.
This lady who likes me, remember I told you, I
Yep.
came in and she's like, "Oh my God, where do you get this energy?" She goes, "You're like light." She charged me
Wow.
and I paid her extra and she took it. So number one, in coaching, we're missing the right training. So when I say coaching, if you have children, you're coaching. If you work at a job, you're coaching.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a business, you're coaching. If you want to run a company, you're coaching. To coach means to mentor, to tutor. How good is this, Joseph?
It's powerful.
With your kids, are you tutoring their kids or mentoring your kids?
Of course.
Okay, so in everything we do, we're mentoring and we're tutoring. So number one, we're missing the proper training. Okay. The second thing is we're missing the right program.
Mm.
Is that a lot of people, they don't have a program or a system. I have created a system over 30 years that has been proven to change the biggest rascals in the world. Tell me what that means to you about the program.
I just love how you say that, to change the biggest rascals in the world. And then I stop and think like all the people you've worked with over the years. And it's just, it's amazing, Tim. And it's just not the big rascals either, you know? And I think that's what people see sometimes, that, oh, only the big ones change. No, you know, I've been with you for
No,
9 years now to see
somebody's
that.
rascally son, somebody's rascally
Yeah.
husband. No, we're changing rascals. So what's missing in coaching today is the right training, the right program, and truly what's missing is, listen to this, the right mentoring that continues.
Mm.
You've got to stick with
Yep.
somebody. You can't just tell them a couple things and then go on your way. That's like somebody who's never snow skied. You go with them on the beginner slope because it goes beginners, intermediate, and then it goes into diamond.
Yep.
You don't go down the beginners twice and then go, hey, go up the diamond of life and good luck. That's when you see them coming down with the medical team.
With the, they're not going.
No wonder the world's so jacked up. They're
You're
all
not
coming
going
down
down.
with the effing medical team because we don't have enough tutors,
Mm.
trainers, coaches that are walking them through the dilemma. And people
Man.
say to me, they'll come back to me and they go, I have messed my life up, Tim. I've so jacked my life up. I go, it's not how I see it. That's pretty bad what you did, but that's not how I see it because I'm looking at the long range goal
Mm.
that today's decisions are tomorrow's realities. And I see that we're going to get out of it. So that's my strength, that the mentoring continues. Like I mentor one of the greatest agents in the world who has probably the biggest brand in the world. I won't tell you who they are, but you know, if you know. So the agent, I've been mentoring him and coaching him, life coaching him for over 22 years. And he said to me the other day, one reason he stays with me, he goes, it's not because I'm messing up, it's because I don't want to mess up. He said,
Mm.
you keep me on what you say, the yellow brick road. And so that's what I do in teaching about coaching. So
Wow.
training, program, mentoring that continues. And then the other thing that's missing in coaching, Joseph, is motives. What is your motive? What is
Mm-hmm.
your motive for wanting to be a coach? What's your motive for wanting to be a leader? What is your motive for wanting to be known? I never sought to be known.
Mm-hmm.
My motive is to serve people.
Wow.
My vision is to see their vision happen. Okay? Tell me what you think about that.
Well, you really just led into my next question when you talked about, you know, seeing their vision come to pass and being a servant, and that I know that you are. But why is being a servant so important to you with coaching?
Because you just never know who someone's going to become, you know? Like I've seen kids that come into these rehab centers that I work with and they're on heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard one of the people that was working at one of these places say, this kid's effed up, he's
Mm-hmm.
done. And I took the guy in the corner and I got mad at him. I go, nobody's done till God says they're done.
Yep.
And so I made it my mission to help turn that kid around. Okay. So
Wow.
the motive is that's somebody's son. That's what I always
Mm-hmm.
thought. That's somebody's daughter. When somebody is begging on a corner. It's so easy to go by. I'm like, oh my God, they're irritating me.
Hmm.
I sounded like Kevin Hart right there. I, I'm not that guy that thinks people are irritating me. That's somebody's
Yep.
daughter begging. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's child that was once dedicated, maybe even in church, dedicated to the Lord,
Hmm.
or sprinkled, or baptized, or in the Jewish faith, or in the Catholic faith, or Muslim faith. That's somebody that some parent brought before their God and said, God
Hmm.
bless them. That turned out where they are in a difficult place. So my motive is
Hmm.
to serve. But do you know that I
Man.
always think about the parents? I think even if the parents are not around, or even if the parent abandoned the kid,
Hmm.
I think of, I'm gonna get in there where the parent maybe didn't.
Man, that's powerful, and I just keep replaying that story over and over. And for time's sakes, I know you won't share it, but where you connected the homeless
Kid
kid to his mom
to his mom,
because you
and
just gave a rip.
the mother cried when I called her number, and I said, "This is Tim Storey. I have your son who's been missing because he was schizophrenic and he was off his
Hmm.
medicine." And the mother, out of all the people in the world that could have called, she said, and she was all the way in another state in the South.
Hmm.
And I said, it's Tim Storey. And she says, Tim Storey, the minister?
Hmm.
I said, yes. And she started crying. I said,
Wow,
got your son.
man, that's powerful. So let's talk a little bit about this new program. So we've talked about coaching from back in the day all the way
Yeah.
up to current time. So there's a new program that's coming out,
Yeah.
and it's a 7 week intensive, right?
Yeah.
And
So
you put
here's what I'm feeling, Joseph, is that I was studying today that there's close to 8 billion people on the earth today. Eight
man
billion.
billion.
Okay. So John Maxwell's only one guy. Tim Storey's only one guy. Tony Robbins only one guy. Brene Brown's only one guy.
Hmm.
All my buddies are only one person, male or female, because there's great female coaches too. All the ministers, the rabbis, the priests that I'm friend with, they're only one person.
Hmm.
But if I could duplicate myself, if I could take with that coach, with that therapist, that lady who taught at USC, taught me in those 5 years,
Hmm.
if I could take that and I could duplicate myself into 1,000 people,
Wow.
could you imagine what she did with me one-on-one
Yep.
if I could do it with 1,000 people that I trained them,
Hmm.
that I helped them with a plan, a procedure, with their motives, how to deal with difficult people, how to help somebody's life go beyond. Could you imagine what it's going to do for that coach? But could you imagine what it's going to do for the person they're helping?
Wow.
So I said, if there's 8 billion people
Billion. Hmm.
that I believe, watch this happen,
Hmm.
within the first 6 months of us launching this program, I will get 1,000 coaches. 6 months, I want 1,000 coaches that I could pour what that lady poured into me. Okay? My principles, my way of thinking,
Hmm.
my step by step, my get better, my mountain. You don't just go through, you don't
Hmm.
just go around. Sometimes you got to go over. How do you got to go over it? You got to have the right skills, tools, and attitude. I'm going to teach them all my secrets. Brendan Burchard and I were at Oprah Winfrey's house. And Brendan said to me, he says, Tim, you know what people want to know from you? You know what people want from Tim Storey? They want your secrets.
Yep.
Tim, you're so doggone good. We want your secrets. So, Joseph, it's the first time ever that I'm giving away these secrets of coaching.
Yep.
Now, how's it going to help? If you're a leader of anybody, if you're a leader of one person,
Hmm.
could you imagine you can help one person to elevate their life? Okay. So my program is to help equip people, okay, for the right program, the
Hmm.
right principles, the right techniques, the right skills. And Joseph, you watch us get it. I'm going after 1,000 coaches in a 6-month period, but worldwide. And here's what I want to say to you. If you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. They're
Right.
going to do it in Ecuador. They're going to do it in Venezuela. They're going to do it in freaking South Africa. Somebody listen to me. They are going to do it in Japan. They're going to do it in Thailand. They can do it anywhere I've been. They're going to do it. And let me tell you something. I sold my Volkswagen to go to Korea, okay, when I was 20 to go to a seminar. I sold my Volkswagen to go to a seminar in Korea when I was 20. If you got to sell something
Sell
to
it.
get this program, if you got to sell something and sacrifice something, if you got to sacrifice to save somebody, holy schmoly, is it worth it?
Wow.
So
So,
I'm getting 1,000 people in 6 months that I can equip them, mentor them through this program. And Joseph's going to explain more. It's a 7-week program. And then 3 times over a 12-month period, I'm going to have you and other coaches get on with me. And I'm going to dialogue with you until the crows start crowing. I won't even say it's like an hour session. I'm not going to be done until I'm done. Is that my style or what?
that is
I'm
100%
getting
your style.
1,000 coaches. I'm getting 1,000 coaches.
To change how many lives? What's the number? What's the goal?
I'm getting 1,000 coaches to change 1 million people.
Let's go. You just
1
fired me
million
up.
people, 1,000 coaches. I'm going to change 1 million people with 1,000 coaches.
Man.
Because if I have been able to help millions and millions and millions and millions of people, for Oprah Winfrey to say what she said about me and my place in coaching, for Quincy Jones to call me the voice of inspiration. He said, little brother, you are the voice of inspiration to our time, to our generation. For that to happen, from that one lady teaching me how to coach people, who knows who's going to take this class and take it to the next level. Whether you reach 1 person, 10 people, 20 people, I believe 1,000 of us can change. How many people did I say?
1 million people's lives.
1 million people. I'm not joking
Man,
either.
that just
Watch us
fired me
do
up.
it. Watch us do it. 1 million. I'm going after 1 million people.
1 million.
I'm gonna go after 1 million people. 1 million people to have a better life. Because let me tell you something. If you have a better life, your brother could have a better life. Your sister could have a better life. If you have kids,
Amen.
your kids could have a better life. You are supposed to have a better life that will pass on to your children's children from next generation. I'm going to wake you up, stir you up, help you up, shake you up, get you up to have a better. You see why people go crazy?
I do. You got me going crazy down here.
See, tell them how long I signed product at Grant Cardone's.
Man, 6.5 hours in Las Vegas.
6.5 hours. I was just sitting there signing product. Why? Because people are not stupid. They knock the table over. They want to bite my arm. Give me what you got. Okay. So
Right.
now I'm going to do it. Tell them how they can order this.
You guys can sign up. Tim, if you do me a favor, show them what they'll get for signing up. I'm gonna stay on, but I gotta grab the link real quick and what you're gonna do with that.
Okay, yeah. So what you're gonna get for signing up tonight is I'm gonna give you a gift. And just so you know, I'm gonna get my 1,000 in 6 months. Just watch. And so you might as well jump on and become one of those people. And so what's gonna happen is that we have a new program called Come Back Now. And this was brought out because of COVID. Come Back Now. So when you sign up tonight, I'm going to sign it literally tonight. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to put your name on it, and I'm going to sign it tonight. If you sign up tonight, I'm going to put your name on it and sign it tonight. If you sign up tomorrow, I'm going to put your name on it and sign it tomorrow because Joseph's going to tell me. Okay?
Absolutely.
How much do I love Cassie? Look at Cassie.
Oh man, you love Cassie.
Okay, so listen to this. So watch. I'm going to give you the comeback now when you sign up for the coaching program. And the comeback now, here's what it has. It has my comeback e-course that I did for Steve Harvey. Did we not create this for Steve Harvey's people?
We did. Yes.
Okay. Also, I'm going to give them the comeback manual that has like 200 pages of how to turn your setback to comeback. That's for your life and other people's lives so they can get better. Okay. I'm also going to give you the Comeback and Beyond ebook that Oprah Winfrey helped take throughout the universe, right? And I'm going to give them the Miracle Mindset video series.
Wow.
Holy schmoly, guacamole. Okay. So I have $300 worth of product there that you're going to get for signing up tonight. Okay. We have brought the price way down on our coaching manual and our coaching system, right? And the reason for that is because we love human beings. And everyone was willing to pay the high price. And I thought, oh my gosh, Joseph, look at all these people buying it at this price. I go, no. Did I not tell you, let's bring it down?
You did, and we brought it down.
We brought it down while the sales were huge. So we're bringing it down. Are we talking the price tonight or not?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so we got like 4 minutes. So tell them what the price is and how they sign up. So they're gonna be coached to be a better mentor, tutor. If you're a mother, if you're a father, if you're a brother, if you're a sister, if you're a human, come on, help save one life. I learned the Heimlich maneuver. Remember, Joseph?
Breaking
I learned
ribs.
the Heimlich maneuver because I just decided, what if someone ever chokes? I learned the Heimlich maneuver. It took 2 years for somebody to choke. I was about to speak, and a guy starts choking in the room next to me, and no one was around him. And I heard a guy, and he collapsed, and I went, and I did the Heimlich on him. And I was, you see these muscles, but this is in my 30s. I was super strong. I went, boom, and I did it twice. Boom, and I broke his ribs.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I didn't thoroughly understand the Heimlich, okay? And then remember I told you today, the next time I did the Heimlich, I knew it better. 5 times above the belly. Boom, 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 boom. The person shot out what was in their mouth, okay? I'm going to teach you. If I learned to do the Heimlich and I saved 2 people from dying, they both were dying, okay? We're going to teach you to coach and teach people how to live.
The link's right there, Tim. I just posted it 3 times. Be sure to click on that link right there. It'll take you directly to the certified coaching program. And Tim, the super low price is $29.95. That's $2,995. But guess what,
And it only
Tim?
took me 30 years to come up with this.
2 payments. 2 payments. You guys can make it in 2 payments, and then you get $299 worth of free product signed to you tonight or tomorrow, mailed directly to you from
So they
Tim
can
Storey.
put it on their credit card, they can PayPal, Venmo, whatever they do. They do it now. The second payment's due in 30 days.
30
By
days.
then you can sell something, okay? Sell something, do something, work extra hours. Start it tonight, okay? And then do something to get it. And then how do they get this system? It's virtual. Let them know about that.
It's virtual. As soon as you sign up, you will get an email back. It'll have all the instructions on where to sign up and how to start. So I just posted the link 3 different times. If you have any questions, email me, joseph@timstorey.com. That is JOSEPH@timstorey.com, and I will make sure we get you dialed in tonight.
And let me just give a shout out to Deshaun Davis, who did such a great job in organizing this and helping us put this together. And he's our partner in this, has done such a great job. This thing is so unique. It's on fire. It's got music going through it. It's got our vibe, our culture. I'm looking for 1,000 people. We're going to change 1 million people through this life coaching project.
Man, so good, Tim. And here's what I'm excited about. We're jumping from this live right now to one of our favorite things to do on Monday night, World Shakers Network in 1
World
minute.
Shakers Network. If you're not part of that, how do they get in the World Shakers Network?
Hey, timstorey.com/World Shaker. You can sign up every Monday night live.
I'm on every Monday night dialoguing with people.
We are jumping on live.
And that's a very low price of $19 a month.
Right, right.
Woo! Tonight's gonna be fire. Okay, you guys were awesome.
You guys were awesome. We'll
Merry
see you all.
Christmas almost.
Sign up tonight, and we'll mail you your free product and get you dialed in. And
I
we'll
cannot
see.
wait to coach you guys. I'm gonna work you over. You're gonna be the best at what you do. Come on, let's go change 1,000,000 lives together.
Amen. Tim, I'll see you live in a little bit.
See you soon. I gotta go live right now. I'm going.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Life is good.